installment of the Maunakea Speaker Series. The Maunakea Speaker Series is a partnership between the Astronomy Program, ELOA, Astronomy Center here, and the Office of Maunakea Management. And the purpose of the Speaker Series is to focus on learning about the place Maunakea, so the scholarship that happens about Maunakea. We've been privileged to have talks before this about birds of Hawaii Island, or Maunakea, permafrost, a little bit about Lake Honokaʻa, arthropods. And tonight we are thrilled to have actually 4 presenters. It's a little bit of a unique format for us, so we'll explain that. But we have 4 presenters, but Hokunani, Sanchez, and Keilani Steele, both who are going to be seniors at Honokaʻa High School in Honokaʻa, are here to talk about their work as part of the Maunakea Scholars program, which Beth Laychak and Doug Simons of the Canada-France-Hawaiʻi Telescope are going to be able to explain much more about. So I'm not going to try and detail that because that's what they're here to talk about tonight. So again, well, thank you all for coming, and turn this over to Beth Laychak, who's going to start off, and they want to hold questions until the end of the usual format. Thank you.
Thank you, Fritz. So thank you all for coming this evening. We do have a slightly unusual format in that we have 4 speakers. I'll be starting it off speaking about the basic details of the program, and then Hokunani and Keilani will talk about their work, and then we'll wrap the whole thing up with a little bit of perspective and other good stuff. So I apologize in advance. I've seen everyone else's PowerPoints. My slides are the most boring background, but that's how it goes. So let's start off with what is Maunakea Scholars. It's a student-driven research opportunity for Hawaii public high school students to conduct their own research. For me, the most critical parts of this are student-driven, Maunakea observatories, and their own astronomical research. This is not a program where we told the students what they were supposed to observe. We go into the classrooms, we introduce the program, and the students really run with it from there. Whatever they're interested in, whatever topics in astronomy that they're interested in studying, that's where the project goes. They have the opportunity to use observatories on the summit of Maunakea, CFHT included, not exclusively CFHT. They also can use Gemini, the Super Telescope. Oh, I think of them all. The East Asian Observatory, and then Robo-AO generated, offered some time this year, and pointing to Christoph, who's in the audience there. He's not turning around. And the Las Comparas Telescope Network on Maui. So this is our second year. Our pilot year was 2015-2016. We worked with 2 schools, Kapolei on Oahu, and then Maunakea High School here. And these schools were selected because they had prior involvement with Gemini. Gemini Observatory was one of our early partners on this. They were technology enabled, which meant they had computers, real low bar. And the most important part of it was they had creative teachers. And so in the pilot year and this year, in our second year, we worked with teachers who figured out a way to make this sort of program work in our public schools. It's not a coincidence that we are in exclusively public schools. It gives an opportunity to students to do things that public school students generally don't get to do. And I think oftentimes we forget what excellent students and excellent public schools we do have here in the state of Hawaii, as you will see with our lovely ladies tonight. So this was our first group of students who were at the summit. This was actually our second attempt to go to the summit. The first attempt ended with us getting out of our vans because there were 70 knot winds at the summit. So we didn't go the first time. This is the second time we're actually looking at all of the students are from Kapolei High School. The students from Maunakea actually weren't feeling well. And then we have 3 teachers from Maunakea High School. This is Leanne Martin. She's one of the organizers that we work with over there. She's the STEM coordinator. All right, so what's the process? Each school is paired with a mentor from either IFA Manoa or IFA Hilo. They're all graduate students this year. We had one exception. That exception was the teacher at Maunakea High School actually acted as the mentor for her students. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I go in and I introduce the program. I basically tell high school students that they are going to write a research proposal and get telescope time in one of the Maunakea observatories. They look at me like I'm crazy, and they go from there. And then students really, as I will mention time and time again, they drive the research. My advice to them is start looking at astronomy picture of the day, NASA websites, the CFHT calendar, and figure out what pictures speak to them, what are the words that go with those pictures, and then run from there. The students then take time, they research, they write a proposal, they tell us what they want to do, why they want to do it, and how they want to do it, and then we have a committee of people that meets and reviews the proposals for each school. So each school that participates is guaranteed telescope time. So the students in Honokaʻa competed against the other students in Honokaʻa, the Kapolei students against them, their classmates. Then they get their data. We announce, we have a very big fancy award ceremony, which is a lot of fun. And we announce the winners. And then over the course of time, we're able to get the students' data. What's really great about the Honokaʻa program is almost all of the students we worked with were undergraduates. So they're stuck with us for a second, possibly a third year. Some of the students that aren't here tonight are actually, they were sophomores. And then everyone goes to the summit. So in year one, we ended up with 3 proposals from Maunakea. The first one, the one that was selected was Exploring Star Formation in the Host of Radio Quiet Quasars. I love this title because when I go back to Maunakea or any of the schools, I can say, so do you think that they knew what a radio quiet quasar was on day one? The answer is no. That was a topic that they were interested in. Kapolei, we had 7 research proposals, and these were the 2 that were selected, validating or redefining mischaracterized unconfirmed exoplanets and quasars and what they're made of. The difference in the number of proposals was the Maunakea students worked in teams of 4, the Kapolei students worked in pairs. So we go through a selection process, these students give us their proposals and we evaluate them. The first and foremost is based on feasibility. And this is where we actually lose probably more of the projects because the students have ideas that are so grand that it takes 5 years and not 3 hours. So a lot of the programs that we see involve black holes or the search for dark matter, all of those really sexy topics in astronomy. One of the ones this year wanted to do a massive survey around galaxies trying to determine dark matter content. We did that program at CFHT. It took 5 years. So unfortunately, Doug is not that generous with telescope time. So we lose a lot of them there. Creativity and originality. We thought at first that this would be something that we could really grade on, but we can't. Because every proposal is creative. Every proposal is original. One of my coworkers gets really excited when we do the Maunakea Scholars programs at CFHT because they're a lot more creative than the projects that he normally observes. Just students have a different way of thinking about it. There's no need to tell them to think outside the box because they don't even know what box exists. And finally, as a student-driven project, you can tell when a student is interested. I go back and talk to the students after that first introduction. I usually go back at least once, maybe twice. I don't know how many times I talked to the girls in Honokaʻa. And they were always really excited about their projects. So I can tell when it's a student-driven project because they want to tell you about their project. They want to tell you about their idea and ask really hard questions. So these were some of the students in the first year. This is Jamie. Jamie said it was like winning a Grammy. The best quote. Jamie's now in Rome at NYU. She got a phone call saying, hey Jamie, we know we admitted you to NYU Manhattan, but do you maybe want to go to Rome instead? She said yes. I saw her at Christmas. She's doing really well. These are the students up here from Waikea. And then this is the award ceremony that we did the first year. This was our first award ceremony. And this is where the superintendent got involved. We were a little under the radar until we invited her to the award ceremony. Doug made her cry, and ever since then, she's been a huge fan and advocate for the program. They were happy tears. So we came back year 2. It was bigger. We added schools. On Oahu, we have Kapolei, Keilani, and Nanakuli. Over here, Waiakea, and then obviously Honokaʻa. We added mentors. Our first year, we had Kelly and Evan from IFA, and then Andrea Patrick from then Gemini, now CFHT. Evan left. He went to California. But we picked up a handful of other students. Heather is actually a researcher with PM Stars. Ben, Mesa, Max, and Sean are graduate students at IFA, whether IFA Miller or IFA Hilo. Jessica actually just graduated and will be a graduate student next year. She's an undergrad. Jamika was the interesting case that I mentioned. She used to work at the Visitor Information Station, so some of you may be familiar with Jamika Marshall. And she was teaching at Maunakea High School. She's actually teaching astronomy and Spanish and had gone back to school. And so she mentored her students. She was an astronomy graduate student. And then Andrea mentored Jamika. We also added more telescopes. I'm sorry, I forgot IRTF earlier, which was really bad because they gave telescope time to one of the Honokaʻa girls. And we had more students. We worked with about 82 students this year. That's a lot of students. I talked to them all. I know what all of their projects were. They were really good projects. We also added a cultural component. Thank you to Iniloa here. The Mauna Iniloa program visited all of the schools, awkwardly except Waiakea. There's a reason for that. I don't know how many of you know Ceci. So Ceci was on maternity leave, and by the time we were ready to go again, it was the end of the school year. We won't miss them next year. So who are our students? They're all public school students. We had after-school astronomy clubs. The Honokaʻa students and the Nanakuli students were both after-school astronomy clubs. Interestingly, both clubs were all girls. When I go to Honokaʻa, I'm like, you know, boys can participate too. We have earth science students. So NIDA students at Kapolei High School are earth science students. We have credit recovery students. I'm not sure if you're familiar with credit recovery in the DOE. That means you kind of didn't pass those classes when you needed to, and to graduate, you kind of have to pass them. Those were the students that we worked with at Waiakea, and they did a really fabulous job. We also had a research class to talk about. So each school has the freedom to fit the program however they want to in their curriculum. We don't dictate and say this is the way that you have to do it, and these are the rules. The only major rule is that I have to visit and you have to actually submit proposals, but other than that, we're pretty free doing. So these were our selected programs. I'm going to run through them pretty quickly. This is Jasmine. Jasmine wanted to look at exoplanets. And then this is Amber. Amber wanted to look at eclipsing binary system, black hole binary. At Keilani High School, we have, this is Jordan. Jordan wanted to look at globular clusters. This is a globular cluster right here, and she wanted to try and determine the age of these globulars based on their color. This is David. David actually made it to the State Science Fair this year, and this is spectra that David took using Esperance and CFHT. So spectra is essentially the rainbow of an object. And David wanted to try to determine the composition of the maria of the moon versus the Hymen's. And so he took spectra. What we did for David was he actually observed at CFHT via Skype. So I did a screen share. He watched and told us exactly where on the moon he wanted us to observe for him. And we took the data and made it to the State Science Fair. This is Esperance, the instrument that he used. This is David at the State Science Fair. I was very proud. This is Spencer. So Spencer wanted to determine if the magnetic fields intrinsic to the Orion Nebula had an effect on the shape of the Orion Nebula. He used the East Asian Observatory, and this is Spencer's data. Spencer's data was actually, this is a very hot topic in astronomy, and so Jessica Dempsey and Harriet Parsons at EAO asked one of the astronomers who's an EAO user, professional astronomer, if she'd be willing to share her data with Spencer. And she said yes, as long as she could have Spencer's data. So moving forward, Spencer is going to be cited in every one of the papers that she writes on the Orion Nebula, crediting him in his data. At Kapolei, we ended up with the spectroscopy of hydrogen-rich exoplanets, and that was using the Gemini Observatory. The source of the Earth's water by Emily. Emily's really interesting. She was our only returning student. She was a junior last year. She was devastated that she didn't get telescope time last year, and so she got telescope time this year using Esperance again at CFHT. She wanted to measure the deuterium to hydrogen ratio of the water in comets to see if it was possible that they could be the precursor to life on Earth or the water on the Earth. And then comparing elements in different supernova remnants by Ashlyn and Justin, they actually observed the Subaru telescope, and Subaru was very gracious, and Ashlyn and Justin were able to fly over. Ashlyn sadly had a cold and didn't make it past the HP, but Justin had an amazing time. He went up with one of my coworkers. His mentor was actually on the mainland, so he went up with one of my coworkers and observed at Subaru. The greatest day ever for him. So these are the students here. We have Chantal, this is their mentor, Kelly and Heather, Nida, their teacher, Emily, and then Ashlyn and Justin. This is Emily's data. This is her spectra. She was very excited when she got this. This is an oxygen emission line. And then over here, we're pretty sure that this is an absorption line right about here. These X are artifacts. So Emily actually taught herself Python programming language so that she could reduce and plot her data. And she ended up graduating with a STEM certificate from Honokaʻa High School. Waikea, we have the Orion Nebula by Mason and Mark, and then Nebulas by Tommy and Ryland, and Exploring the Asteroid Belt by Cicely and Georgia. So what Mark and Mason wanted to do was see what the Orion Nebula looked like in different wavelengths of light. These are the guys there. Cicely wasn't able to make the award ceremony, as I said, credit recovery. She wasn't allowed to miss any other classes, but she was super excited. They texted her and told her that she needed to get down there in the break between classes. So she wanted, her and her partner Georgia wanted to measure if an asteroid was spinning, how fast it would have to spin to be ejected from the asteroid belt. And so they used the LCOT telescope network on Maui to take that data. This is the Orion Nebula. This is Mark and Mason's project. Our staff at CFHT was really excited because we have this camera. It's called MegaCam. It's a really big camera. And we picked a wavelength of light that we had never imaged Orion in before. And so the instrument scientist for MegaCam comes in and he's like, I think this is the best picture of the Orion Nebula in the H-alpha ever taken. I'm like, that's great. The students were really excited when they found that out. All right, and then lastly, our speakers tonight, dark nebulas and their connection to star formation. I'm not going to talk about that because they will. And the other team that received telescope time at Honokaʻa was possible life in other places in our solar system by Annika, Mary Claire, and Keilani. And so what they want to do is study Saturn's moon Titan and try to figure out if there's evidence of biomarkers on Titan. Now they're not looking for life. They're looking for the building blocks of life. They'll also be studying the weather of Titan at the NASA Infrared Telescope facility. They're going to get 3 observations over the course of a couple of months so they can actually watch Titan starting in September. So we did a lot of summit tours, 57 students, 15 chaperones. Everyone visited CFHT because if I'm doing a summit tour, you're going to see my telescope. Waikea visited IRTF, Maunakea went to Gemini, Kapolei visited Subaru, Hokunani visited East Asian Observatory. Honokaʻa hasn't gone up yet, but I do have a verbal commitment that you can see that. So I will remind them that they said that. So here's the Kapolei students at Subaru. And so really for us, really important part of the program, there's nothing like the first time that you see a big telescope, and especially when it's a telescope that you feel like you have ownership to. I didn't randomly pick those pairings. Every student who went to the telescope saw at least one of the telescopes their classmates had data on. These are our Waikea kids at IRTF staff. All right, we added, like I said, this year a cultural component from Iniloa, Maunakea Iniloa, and Iniloa was fantastic. We had a really great time with them on Oahu. I went. So this is us at Keilani High School. This is Ceci giving them instructions on how to navigate. So they learned about navigation, they learned about the Hawaiian Star Compass, they learned about weather, we had a planetarium show. This is Ceci teaching them the different names of the different houses for the sun. And the students really learned not only about the cultural aspects of wayfinding, but also a very strong connection to place. Ceci has navigated, she's very passionate, and we were thrilled that the students just loved it. Not only the Maunakea Scholars students got to, participate in this part of it, all of the teachers brought all of their classes, so we were able to really expose a lot of students, not necessarily just the ones we worked with this cultural component. So this is my last slide before I turn it over. This is my coworker, Kim. There's Keilani and Hoku. They observed the other night. So they got their megacam data. They used 2 instruments in CFHT, about an hour on each. They received their megacam data during the last megacam run. Hoku just told me that she got an email today to Dr. Sanchez saying that her data was ready. And then they observed the Monday night. I flew back from the mainland and went straight to the observing room, so I kind of lost a couple days there. They observed Monday night with our infrared camera, weird. And so this is them sitting in the driver's seat with Cam telling them exactly what they're doing. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the girls.
Hi, I'm Hokunani.
I'm Keilani.
As Mary Beth introduced, we're from Honokaʻa High School and we participated in the Maunakea Scholars for this year. So as she said before, the mission was about dark nebulae and their connection to star formation.
So we participated in Honokaʻa High School's first year of Maunakea Scholars. Our astronomy club coordinator, Ms. English, encouraged us to partake in the program, in which we had to pick topics, we had to write a proposal, and we researched on it, and then we wrote a proposal, and then we won the award for telescope time. And so we took a particular interest in dark nebulae and in their connection to star formation, and yeah.
This was the day of our word ceremony. We kind of put a collage of what happened. It was super amazing, and it did feel like we won the Grammy because it was just wow. And they opened up a whole bunch of opportunities for us to take, and it just really put us out there for more to look forward more into our future, and it was just an amazing day.
So, what is a dark nebula? Or dark nebula, sorry. Upon first glance, when you look at pictures of nebula, like those pretty little cloud things in the astronomical pictures, you might see black empty pockets, and you think maybe there's no stars in there, but that's not true. So, dark nebulae, they only appear to be empty pockets in space, but they are actually thick interstellar clouds composed of high concentrations of dust that absorb and scatter all incident optical light, which makes it it makes it impossible to look through at visible wavelengths. And because of this, we're unable to see the fact that dark nebulae hold young stars in it. So, and they're kind of comparable to clouds on Earth at nighttime. Maybe sometimes there's blue clouds obstructing our view, and we think maybe there's no stars there, but there still are, and it's just being blocked by clouds in the atmosphere.
So here's an example of what she was saying earlier. And I'm going to switch off the internet, so sorry. But so what I see here is that right here it seems like there's no stars in them. It's just dark spaces. But true, because dark nebulae can't, we couldn't see what was behind it or what was in it, and so it just seemed like there was nothing there. And yeah.
Okay, so to fully understand why dark nebulae interested us and why it was so important to star formation, because there's young stars behind there. We think there's nothing, but there are young stars, and we have to go over how stars are created. So stars mostly form in areas of relatively dense concentration of interstellar gas and dust, such as, that consists of light elements such as hydrogen. They also form in regions that are extremely cold with temperatures of 10 to 20 Kelvin, just above absolute zero. And it just so happens that dark nebulae are composed of interstellar gas and has hydrogen in it, and they're also very cold, which is perfect for star formation. That's why there's so many stars there.
Here's just a diagram that we found on how the stars are formed. So like a protostar is like in the middle of the formation between the star formation. And what's cool I found over here is that clouds of gas and dust are distributed by the gravity of the nearby phenomena. And so when the dust is moved and then it just begins to form stars, and since there's a lot of dust in the dark nebulae, they are the perfect place. So that's why there's a whole bunch of star clusters behind the dark nebulae, inside the dark nebulae, and even surrounding them. And yeah, this is basically what our sun made out to be, which is pretty cool. And also that's pretty great.
All right, here we have some examples of dark nebulae. So the Horse-type nebula, it's in the constellation Orion. 1,500 light years away from Earth, and is located in front of a bright emission nebula. So as you can see here, this would be the Horse-type nebula. This is the bright emission nebula IC434. So that thing right there is just dark clouds that we can't really see through. And in the base of it, right, like around here, and oh yeah, here we can't really see, but that's anyway. In the base of it, there are hidden protostars and young stars and all that, indicating that new stars are being formed in and around the dark nebula.
This is LDN 43. This is what we observed Monday night at CFHT headquarters. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stars surrounding it, but in the middle right here, there's no stars. And there's like thousands of suns behind there, and it's hard to imagine that all those stars are being hidden by such a deep gas and such a dark gas. And so I'll just another one that is LDN 43 and is 700 light years away in the constellation Sanchez. And evidence to astronomers that dark nebulae inhabit a plentiful amount of young stars, which is why we have chosen this particular nebula. And when we observe them, those are really. And so this is the optical lens that Laychak sent us. And this is in the infrared lens. And as you can see, the whole star difference. I'll just switch back. You can see it's more dimmer right here, and how that place just looks like a blackness. And then it clearly just starts to move up, and yeah, it's just really amazing.
All right, so how we collected our data was, as Hope said, we went to the CFH headquarters, so we could look through the telescope, and we used WeirCam and MegaCam, which WeirCam is an infrared imager and MegaCam is an optical imager. WeirCam, and Laychak. They were very important to us because in order to observe beyond the computer showing us, we would need to be using infrared, which is why WeirCam was perfect for it. And we use different filters. For WeirCam, we use KS, J, and Y. And for Laychak, we use U, G, and R. And we use different filters in the telescope because we want to get a wide range of results. Results in different wavelengths.
Why did we choose this topic? So the main reason why we chose it is that in most astronomy pictures, you see these beautiful nebulas like the Orion Nebula or the Horizon Nebula, which we saw earlier. And so we just we saw them and we wondered like what is behind all of that dust and just all of those gases. And we researched deeper into it. We saw that there's all these hundreds of beautiful stars behind there. And we wondered like why are they all growing over there? Why are there so much star clusters? And we looked in deeper and it was because of all the dust and the gases and that's what interested the most so far, and that's what we chose to write about. It was, so after we completed the observations, seeing the information presented to us up front, it gave me a personal sense of accomplishment and that I can pursue more than just like being an average student. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but I can pursue higher into like college level, like now I'm taking college level classes and just getting this award. It feels really awesome and it's just mind blowing to me.
Getting to observe at CFHT was kind of a personal experience for me because for the longest time I really wasn't passionate about anything. I saw all these students, they were really passionate about sports or they participated in the academic decathlon, and I was like, I don't want to do that stuff. And I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So sitting in the room surrounded by computers that have all this information about stuff that isn't on Earth, it really clicked something in me, and I was like, I want to know all that stuff. I want to know more than. I mean, Earth isn't really boring. We know a lot about Earth, but we also know not so much about Earth. But I like space better. I don't know. We live on Earth, and I'm just I'm bored with it. I don't know. So the observation time made me realize what my true passion lies, and it's right here with the subject of astronomy. And it not only inspired me to do greater things in life, but it has also inspired me to pursue a career in astronomy.
So my personal experience, so Hokunani means beautiful star, astronomy, it did pretty well. And so it got amazing because I never really knew the depths of navigation that was flying or navigation all the way around the world that was connected to stars and where to head or to go anywhere else. And digging more deeper into that, it's mind blowing because all these stars form and it's a map for them to navigate. Like Hokunani, that's filming right now, I believe. And it was just amazing. It was fun to meet the other astronomers at CFHT when we went to visit for after a couple months of beginning, and we grew more connections. And it was just an amazing opportunity because not only us will be able to get the other students in other schools and maybe more next year will be able to get this chance as well. And it just opens up a whole new world for us to mature more, and getting such a task, it just helps a lot with maturing and being responsible.
Yeah, like Hoku said, maturity was a big part of this, and I feel like I've kind of grown. I definitely grown through this, and sitting in that room full of peers made me feel very sincere. I like that feeling. But anyway, Maunakea Scholars has been such an amazing experience for me. Before this, like I said, I just didn't know what I wanted to do, and I don't really like sports are cool, but I don't really like doing it. I mean, I don't like competing. I don't know, but so I really liked stars when I was little, but I didn't know what that meant, so I just kind of threw that aside. But now in high school, joining my astronomy club, getting this amazing opportunity to join Maunakea Scholars, become a scholar, and being able to use the telescope. I like it a lot. I more than liked it. I loved it, and it was an enlightening experience. And thanks to Honokaʻa Scholars, I know that I definitely want to be an astrophysicist. It's I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but now I really know what I want to be, and I'm not going to really let anything hold me back from becoming that. And I feel honored to be able to make such personal connections and develop relationships with the staff of CFHT and everyone else. And like I said, I really love outer space. I want to know all the answers, and I mean, I'll leave all the Earth exploration for other scientists. For me, I like to be inside, but also I like to look outside. I don't know. It's just Maunakea Scholars is very personal and like not being a little funny here, but it's just yeah.
Thank you for listening and coming. It was very awesome.
So, quick question: how many of you have had to give a presentation like that from a big group when you're going into your senior year of high school? Like nobody. That was really impressive. And by the way, I think Earth is kind of boring too. Chris down there, that's why you're in the corner on your own. So I'll point that out. Anyway, this feels like a baton tonight. We're passing it off, and I guess I got to be the anchor person to get it over the finish line here. As Mary Beth said, this is Doug's stuff, whatever that is, whatever hasn't been said so far, more or less. And I want to share with you my own sort of personal story, how we got the program going, and kind of where it's headed. So with that, I'll give you some insight into the origins of the program, so we call the backstory of the CFHT Scholars program you may be interested in learning about. As I said, where we've been so far, and frankly, where we headed down the road with this. We have some interesting ideas that are being developed, and I'll give you some insight into where it's all headed, also not just this year, but potentially for many years to come. So I kind of like this graphic. It's a nice way of capturing one of the sort of core themes behind the Maunakea Scholars program that I wanted to establish. That is that I want these students, like Hoku and Keilani, not just to be observers of other astronomers doing their thing on the mountain. I literally want them to be part of the legacy of discovery of Maunakea astronomy. And you heard that tonight. They're part of it. They're part of the team. That can only happen if they get the telescope time and they have the whole opportunity of researching what they want to research. And that's an essential component very early on in the program that I wanted to see established. I often refer to this in public speaking as a billion-dollar research complex. It's probably closer to 2. And to say here, conventional wisdom is that this is kind of the domain of PhDs and impressive engineers and technical staff that have gone through training, things of that sort. And conventional wisdom says that this is not the realm of high school students. And it took a bit of a leap of faith on a lot of parts, including mine, to kind of break through that. So I'm going to capture this little plot here. I'm a scientist, I can't help but plot things. And Maunakea observatories kind of represent the platform here. They represent a platform for professional astronomers to do research. We've been doing that for almost 50 years now. And for graduate students, in particular at the Institute for Astronomy, where I got my degree, who do a combination of research and education, of course, to get through your graduate training. The Maunakea Scholars program is in a completely new dimension that we're adding onto this. In a very real sense, what we're doing is tapping into the potential of this billion-dollar research complex, and now we're turning it into not just a research complex, but an education complex in ways that simply haven't done, to my knowledge, ever before. That's one of the more exciting aspects of because Maunakea observatories and Maunakea is so special. We can tap into it, these sorts of educational opportunities that you witnessed here tonight. Some of the pictures you can see now are elements of previous presentations. It's also about $1 billion sandbox. That's one hell of a sandbox. And for kids who get involved in the Maunakea Scholar program, my advice to them is think big. This isn't just the discovery horizon of what's across the ocean or out to the moon. We think in this terms of discovery horizons that are billions of light years away. These telescopes are so powerful, you can essentially probe the entire content of the universe. And when you have that amount of potential for discovery, you have that amount of potential for education as well. So these are some of the topics we haven't touched on, like researching into black holes, which has been a popular one. This is SS433, which is a black hole binary. And here's what you saw, this little animation, actually, a nice movie of the topic that Hokunani Keilani had selected in terms of research into dark clouds. This program started out as one of Beth's wacky ideas. Most of the time they blow up on my face. This time it hasn't yet. I got a good feeling it's not going to do it anytime soon. You have to take a certain level of risk in these sorts of adventures, and so far it's been one hell of a ride and a tremendous amount of fun. But it started out of frustration because in my days at Gemini and now at CFHT, there's almost a ritual every fall where I would get emails like this in my inbox. This is an actual email. Janice Harvey at Gemini. Says, hi Janice, how are you? Hope things are great. I have a student who's interested in participating in the internship program and or finding a mentor for a science fair project with galaxies. Can you help us? Thank you. Or, like this one, hi Steve, I have a student who's interested in doing an astronomy project. We'll need access to a different camera. We know a mentor that she can connect with that can help her with this. So I would see these requests from the community from kind of random directions in which students and teachers had a mission impossible to figure out this labyrinth of people and technology to connect kids who wanted to be part of astronomy here in Hawaii, but had this sort of passive barrier to be able to probe and find out that, Uncle Timo at Subaru happens to know somebody who works over at Gemini who's best friends with people over at Keck. Maybe you could call him and he'll be able to connect you with what you need. That wasn't very satisfying. That kind of put me over the edge. Was actually a teacher workshop here where I was running around with probably this microphone, in fact. I had a fairly interesting exchange with one Whitney Harakaki. Some of you may know Whitney at Maunakea High School. And she kind of put me to shame when she pointed out, I tried 3 times to find a mentor at the observatories, and I couldn't find a single one that I could match up with the student. It's not just a comment about the observatories. I looked at it as sort of a multi-level breakdown between connecting the observatories and students and their interest in astronomy. So, like everything else, every now and then, you're kind of driven by combination of insight and frustration, and seeing this need and desire kind of go unfulfilled. And that led me to another conclusion. We need to invert the paradigm. The observatories need to structure a program that reaches out to students and pulls them in, not the inverse, where the student has to figure out how to penetrate the observatory system and make it work for themselves. And then I'll spare the details, but it's actually really important. This is part of the presentation I provide at the awards ceremonies. My history as a high school student includes building an 8-inch telescope for backyard observatories as a kid in South Florida. And it is difficult to overstate the importance of this link between my history when I was their age and where I am now in my career. When I asked myself early on, is this nuts to connect high school students with these unbelievably complicated electromagnetic systems called telescopes? Ultimately, I said no, because when I was their age, I would have loved to use back then, but it would have been Palomar observatory. It wasn't Maunakea observatory back in the 70s when I was a high school student. So this really did give me the confidence that what I knew I would have loved to have had when I was their age is still going to be desired here in Hawaii, out in the other 20 years. So all these types of organizations require meetings and conversations. This one took place here at EMUO several years ago. A lot of faces around here they recognize. And it was during these meetings and conversations that we basically established core tenets that weren't necessarily declared about the program, but we referred to over and over again when we kind of in doubt about what direction we want to take it. And there's a nice little video clip that Beth provided earlier this year, I believe it was. I think really does capture nicely one of the essential aspects of the Maunakea Scholars program.
For this program for us, it's really about the students. You know, all across the observatories, and I can speak for CFHT, we want the students to feel empowered. We want students to believe that they can work inside those domes, whether it's as an astronomer, or an engineer, or a computer scientist, or an accountant. We want the students of Hawaii to see the potential and see the future and believe in themselves and believe that opportunities like this are open to them and always will be.
And we've referred back to that from time to time. If in doubt, it's all about the students. Never forget that. And you can think of ways in which that you have to remind yourself of as you design your program. So I'm going to activate our Maunakea Scholar radar and show you where we have been. Where we've been is all over TV. It was about 2 years in the making, but when the media picked up the fact that we were awarding telescope time to high school students, they kind of went crazy. I got a veritable library of recordings from the TV. You see, these are some of the more fun ones. So these are live studio interviews with Sir Amber and Emily, with Steve Wihara on Sunrise of KHNL. This is on KATV's morning news show. And here's Jamie over here. So one of the neat things about this is just the explosion of interest that we triggered. Not knowing if there'd be any interest at all, actually. We actually went live with the whole program. It turned out to be a tremendous amount. They told me we were on the right track. And I can only imagine what it was like for these kids to go back to school after they were live on TV statewide. Their Facebook sessions must have been just going nuclear, tweeting all over the place. But nothing else kind of fun for them. We had a lot of good coverage in print media as well. I'm going to show you this. I remember waking up in my hotel room in Honolulu the day after this award ceremony, seeing that quote, "Chance of a Lifetime," which Jane captured there when her name was announced. And interesting, all these kids were part of that whole cohort that was involved with receiving telescope time. And here, a couple weeks later, it's actually Mary Beth's quote, "You're all astronomers today." It was the front page of the white trip when we rolled out the program at Maunakea High School. And more recently, on the left here, I'm really proud of this one. So this is Justin from Kapolei. Notice he's wired up with oxygen. He's a tough kid. This is about, I think, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. He's our first true high-altitude observer. You see him in the shotgun. He and Ashman, their project was to look at supernova remnants and analyze the chemistries of those and compare to the progenitor stars that led to the supernova. These kids are incredible if you think about these projects. This is a great one. I really love this one. Mahalo Subaru for the time. Now, on the right here, this is the North Hawaii News. You'll recognize some of the all-stars here in front of the Honokaʻa High School logo there. There's English shirt here on the right. We had a blast there in Honokaʻa with the awards ceremony and all these students who either got Earthly time or CFHT time. And then just sort of a hodgepodge of photos that have taken them along the way. As Mary Beth said, I didn't try to make Captain Matsuyoshi cry, but that was another sort of early reinforcement to me in that first award ceremony. And basically what happened was Kathy's our local coach, she grew up in Kilo. And we asked her to give the final sort of remarks to Kapolei, and she pointed out that when she was a kid, at that point, well, it would have been the UHAA and Chapa Maunakea, of course you can see that from Kilo. And she said, you know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be part of that, direct quote. I didn't feel as any way it could be. And that's when she got really emotional. And I realized we're breaking down that barrier for these kids with this program. And on top of that, we've been busy awarding certificates all over the place. So here's, yes, these are the actual ones, Hokunani and Keilani. And they are paired up with a total of 28 certificates we've awarded over the past couple of years in the program. So each of these students has received observing time on one of the Maunakea observatories, and of course, that program. Again, big mahalo to all the observatories who have shipped in resources to make this all possible. Not bad for 2 years. Over the next sort of 4 or 5 years, we will likely touch about 1,000 or so students that bring up this program statewide. So where are we headed? Looking forward now. Well, new partnerships, more and more, basically, observatories, schools, and opportunities. In terms of opportunities, I'm not going to go over all of them, but I will lay out one that's kind of interesting. So CFHT is receiving an instrument called Spirit late this year and next year. And basically, it is an exoplanet hunter, and we're going to try to design a program that allows Maunakea Scholars students to use their instruments to discover exoplanets. And we're going to try actually naming them officially as well. So that too has never been done. The technologies, the ability, the resources are there in place to actually make that possible. And in addition, very important, by Beth, we're providing an overall Hawaiian cultural context for the entire program. We have, let's see, a couple of you here. We're working with Iwiloa, we're with Canada Schools, networking out from there within the community. For me, this is a very natural extension of 1,000 years of Polynesian astronomy. We're now doing it with a future generation from Mauna Kea using modern technology. I see a beautiful continuity in all of that. I want to thank the team here at Iwiloa and everybody else who's helping us fundamentally ground this program in a Hawaiian cultural context that's going to make it really special. So we move our little Maunakea Scholar off to the left there. For reference, there we are up in Maunakea. 2015-16, we had these two schools, Maunakea and Kapolei. And the following year, we had 3 more added to that, 2 over on Oahu and Honokaʻa. Next year, we plan to go to Molokai for the first time. We're going to bring 2 schools on Maui on board, Waipahu and Keilani as well. At this point, we will have captured about 1/4 of all the public high schools in Hawaii. Not too bad for the program. That is, we're laying the tracks inches before the train. The logistics of handling all these students, teachers, all the data, all the observatories, flying students back and forth, it is mind-boggling to try and run a program like this. Mary Beth is in the middle of all that, so she deserves a tremendous amount of mahalo to the whole community for making all this possible. Purely from a logistics, if not a leadership standpoint. Started out with an CFHT time, we had to throw something with the pot to get the ball rolling. And at this point, we have EAO, IRTF, Scoopers, Gemini, Subaru, Captain, SMA, all signed up. I'm pretty sure I can get 1 or 2 more as well for the next school year. For me, the kicker is we've got all big telescopes. If you step back and look at this, I was talking this to our science committee a few weeks ago, the amount of resources in this program would be the enemy of any university astronomy department in the world. It really would be, except it's going to high school kids. And that, for me, that's a chicken skin deal. We've assembled the ultimate A team in research facilities for these kids. It doesn't get any better than that. It simply doesn't. And it's a real tribute to all my fellow directors that they saw what we did that first year and they've all stepped up. And it's truly a partnership across the entire Hawaii public education system, thanks to an agreement that we just enacted a few weeks ago. And it's 3 strokes and 3 lines. The Maunakea Scholars program is important. So what I mean by that is we were there over the IFA, my alma mater, to sign off on an MOU between DOE, UH, and myself representing the observatories. You know, lasting commitment, as I say, essentially between all of public education and observatories to support this program down the road. Creates a working group that Beth is chairing that brings in expertise from around these parts of the team and beyond to help us develop it as we go further out. And as I mentioned before, brings in expertise in particular to develop a Hawaiian cultural context for the entire program. This is a little op-ed that David, Kathy, and I wrote the following Sunday that appeared in the Honolulu Star advertising. So it's been a neat partnership, and each of us in this partnership have important roles. DOE, they are basically our link to the teachers. You can't just parachute this program into a random school and expect it to work. We need them to identify not just the schools, but the teacher in the school to make it possible to drive it forward. The observatories, of course, kick in the observer time, and for lack of a better technical term, the glue and the grease. So Beth is the glue. She holds the whole thing together, literally working with every student in the program. And I'm the grease. When things get stuck, we need to spend some money, we do it. We need to fly kids around, we just do it. We need some computers, we do it. That's the way you just force progress that's required to make this whole program run. And then you have the secret sauce, the mentors. They are absolutely essential. They're not here in numbers. They are the quiet heroes behind all of this. We've got a dozen or so next year. We basically have hijacked the Institute for Astronomy graduate program. And we learned early on that students teaching students is essential to making this work. And having that mentor team of graduate students working with high school students is an essential part of the whole program. So it really is a synergy. There are no partners in all of this that don't have a meaningful role, that don't play an important role in making the overall Maunakea Scholar program work. And together, it's been a lot of fun putting this partnership together and sort of capture a nice little video that UH produced a week or 2 ago that I'll show you now. It's about 2 minutes long. This is a partnership between the education system across the state and the observatories through the community. And the heart of that is through the futures of our thinking.
The partnership gives teachers an opportunity to work with professionals in the astronomy field and really bump the rigor for our students.
Today, we've taken the best collection of telescopes in the world. We are formalizing the program to put them in the hands of Hawaii's high school students. It's an incredible learning opportunity for them. It is inquiry-based learning. It is real research. It engages them with the best scientific resources in Hawaii. It engages them with some of the best graduate students in Hawaii in our very own University of Hawaii Institute for Astronomy.
It's really great that other students are able to use the telescope like I did and have the mentorship that I had as well from the graduate students here.
We're helping grow the next generation of astronomers and scientists here in Hawaii.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So a few closing thoughts to share with you. First of all, as a longtime resident of Hawaii, I take tremendous pride in the idea that this is 100% made in Hawaii. And I refer to the Institute for Astronomy as my farm team. They are the ones who are being sort of cultivated to be the connection into the students through their teaching and their help at the student level. So I'm very proud of that. And it's important to think it through. This is all traceable to Maunakea in every respect, from cultural to technology to the site. That's what drives it all. We have Maunakea in Hawaii, and we're simply tapping into that in a sense. Another interesting lesson. This program didn't require raising millions of dollars. It didn't require a whole lot other than just changing some minds. The pieces were already in place, and they've been in place for a while. It just required looking at it differently and snapping them together and taking some risks. And I think that's an important lesson, thinking through how we can take these sort of innovative steps in the future as well in education. Just look at what you've got already and see if you can rewire it and create new ways. And finally, the whole program puts what I think is a badly needed spotlight on 21st century STEM education. I'm a parent. I know many of you here are parents, well, probably frustrated with the emphasis on testing and things of that sort. So this is not a homework assignment. These kids get to dream, and then they get to explore the universe with these telescopes to fulfill those dreams. And this, for me, is what 21st century education should be all about. And that's what we're trying to build. So beyond that, it's just been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. So here's Amber at the Maunakea High School reception, which was an absolutely wonderful one, where we had at the school provide a presentation for us, and school, of course. It was just the warmest reception you can imagine there when the Maunakea Scholars team rolled into Honokaʻa High School and had that aloha shared back with us. It was really touching. I deeply appreciate that. So with that, mahalo nui to everybody. We are a few minutes over, but you are, you didn't pay anything. So I hope it's worth the price of admission. Thank you very much.
Well, we have time for questions if folks have questions for any of the speakers tonight.
What would it take to get this at people?
I knew that was coming. Very high probability of coming to Hawaii. Basically, we have relied on DOE to identify specific teachers at specific schools, and we rolled out initially Maunakea. So I would say within a year or two, we'll get into the line. It's mostly, we're in this doubling phase, which is almost insane. Okay, so don't interpret that we haven't doubled into your domain yet in any deep way. It simply means that not every school at each year can necessarily be part of that doubling process. I've been asked about DOI a lot. I knew that question was coming.
I had a big last one,
So our headquarters are actually in Waimea, and so I feel a very strong sense of obligation to my Honokaʻa students, but also West Hawaii as a whole. So that's why we reached in that direction this year and not more towards the east or to the south, because they need our love to get my card. We'll talk about 2018, 2019.
All right, we'll get you all that.
we'll get you a lot.
How about for our Maunakea Scholars?
So you all have talked about that there's these 6 different filters, 3 for the optical and 3 for the infrared. Can you tell us like which one was like the best or give the best data results?
Well, we haven't quite seen our data yet, but once we, yeah. Once we get that, we'll get back to you. No, it looks quite different. Since filters, they were kind of, I guess you could say, different colors. It showed which stars were hotter, which were colder, and stuff like that.
Will you submit another proposal this coming year?
Definitely. Definitely, yes.
That's the inside track.
as I see it, I mean, it's got to be, I don't want to call it a drain on each of the telescopes, but there's a significant factor of personnel and computer time.
Yeah, so there are different resources put into it. If you're wondering where the telescope time come from, that's one of the, in terms of sort of value, the highest value part. Each observatory director has what's called discretionary time, and it amounts to maybe 3 or 4% of annual time. And normally that is allocated for observations that are very time sensitive, like a comet or a supernova, something that you could not fit into the normal cadence of observing proposals. And after the first year, so I burned an eye observing just a time discretionary time the first year. And having demonstrated that was a good thing to do, I basically passed the hat around and asked all the directors to chip in discretionary time. So that just came off the top, right? And that's, you know, that has huge values. If you were to try and cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars of telescope time, in a sense. The program is mostly limited by mentors as opposed to cash. And getting to Hilo, for example, that is the biggest thing. So even with a dozen mentors, it's hard to keep up with that number of students. I'm very much in a fundraising mode to try and build up a mentoring team. We're now going to neighbor islands like Honokaʻa Valley. Now we have to shuttle mentors back and forth, and it becomes another level of complexity and cost. So the short answer is CFHT is kicking in the cash, and we can do that at a level of 10 schools. We double it again to 20 schools. Mary Beth will explode. The program's kind of built in the margins of what I have for funding CFHT. I'm hopeful that it'll be popular enough, even $100,000 per year will allow the program to really flourish statewide, which is also one of my goals. So don't worry, everything's blossoming together. Okay, I think we knocked it out. Fritz, over to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Doug.